Sometimes the most well-meaning district leader is not able to pull off the kind of culture shifts that we're talking about here today, Collyer. And sometimes you need help. That's why we go get outsiders, sometimes outside speakers, sometimes people from up the org chart in the zone. Like, I'll do this for you if you want, right? I think you're a good communicator and I think people love you. But you may find that you're not, they see you a certain way, whereas they might see me a different way, right? It's like the old analogy, when you grow up, your dad tells you something over and over again, but you'll only listen to the friendly uncle, right? And they're saying the same thing, just say it in a different way. And the friendly uncle has a different appeal than the taskmaster dad, right? So that's one thing I think that can help as you're trying to get people's attention to make this shift. Another thing I recommend is spotlighting the role. I call them role model clubs. Like in Rotary, you're not supposed to play favorites, but if you don't play favorites and you don't name names, how do they know who's doing really well? One of my pet peeves with RI is, we have 17 directors on the BOD, the board of directors, and they shift out every couple years, but you never hear anything about performance. And I'm super interested in knowing who the best directors are. If I ever am in a position where I can be a director, I want to know who the best director in the last 10 years has been and why, and how can I replicate their success? How can I use them as a role model? But if you won't tell me who they are, I don't know. Well, people like you coming up have the ability to tell other clubs exactly who's doing well at certain things: membership, giving, attendance, club culture. And when you share that, and I got the kindest compliment from Dee Brock from Pets. She's off the committee now because everybody cycles off after a while, but I've got the nicest testimonial. I did a screenshot of it. I was so grateful that she said this and pleased, because this is how she perceived me. She says, Michael doesn't just tell us what to do, he tells us exactly how to do it. And I think a lot of clubs are in that position where they don't know, they just want to be told exactly how to get better. They don't want options, they want the formula, man. If you go to cook chicken cacciatore, you may not be the person that has all the time in the world and the patience to experiment. You want to follow the recipe that works. That's how I am in the kitchen, And if I was going to be the president of a club, I might have my own ideas that I want to put into motion. But if there was somebody out there that could tell me exactly what to do to get what I wanted, but human nature is not like this. Humans don't work like this. You probably know I run an online program called Present Like a Pro. And one of the bargains I make with my students when I enroll them is I say to them, they'll give me their goals. They want to become a $5,000 keynote speaker. They want to do 10 talks in the next 12 months. They want to speak in Florida. We come up with these interesting little goals that they have. And I go, cool, I support you. And they go, great. Wow, no one's ever said that to me. I said, I'll do even better than that. I said, I will help you achieve those goals. They're absolutely doable, but I need to have you make a promise to me. Will you do it? And they go, what's the promise? And I go, if I tell you exactly what to do so that you can speak in Florida within 6 months, will you do it? And they all say yes. But many of them do not follow through.
Interesting.
I have the golden ticket and I say, here it is, man. And they still won't do it. And that's one-on-one, and they paid me for my services. Imagine how difficult it is to grab the club, a group, by the scruff of their neck and say, I'll tell you exactly how to do this. Will you do it? That's what ideally should happen in the visioning sessions, although the visioning sessions don't, by definition, tell the clubs what to do. It helps the clubs figure out what to do. And I guess my point is, sometimes it helps to have that person walk in and say, nope, here's exactly what to do. Here's the timetable from which to do it. Here's the person you can talk to who did it. I'll leave you with one more example. in 1617, you might remember we did $1 million dinner for 6380. And we raised $1.2 million. It had never been done in the district before. We tell people it was raised in one night, it was raised in a campaign, and then the check was presented, I don't know, between the entree and the dessert or whatever, in Ann Arbor, out your way. And we had a committee to help do this. And I didn't want to do like a whiteboard with the committee, because a lot of times that can be a waste of time. It's a bunch of people trying to figure out something and nobody in the room has ever done it, right? Ray Dalio, the author of the book Principles, says, if you want to find out how to do something, talk to somebody who's actually done it. I think that's pretty good advice. So I called a buddy of mine down south, Brian, and he's done $1 million dinners. Brian's got a kind of a thick Louisiana accent. And I got him on a group call with the committee, and nobody ever done this before either, you know. We had this like special guest. He had raised $1 million, and now the committee's leaning in to hear how he did it. And he goes, I have to get the numbers right here. I think it was, are you good at math, Collyer?
Well, it depends.
I think it was 50 people at $25,000. Is that $1 million?
Find out.
I haven't told
50
this
at what?
story.
How much? 25,000?
50 at 25.
1,250,000.
Yeah, okay. Well, you can use it 50 at $20,000. 50 at 20,000 would be $1 million, of course.
Yeah.
So let's do that, 50 at 20. So Brian gets on the phone in this Louisiana drawl and he goes, well, I appreciate you asking, Michael. It was really quite simple. He said, what we did was we got 50 people. We have 1,200 people in our district, and we got 50 of those people to donate $20,000 each. There's your $1 million. And we all started laughing. And I said, does anyone have any questions for Brian? And Brian, and they had a few questions, you know, we hang up. And then, and I went, oh my God, this went better than I even dreamed it would go. Now we have the formula, and these great people are just going to go out and work the formula. We're going to raise $1 million. And the very first person that spoke after Brian hung up said, I don't like it. What don't you like? And she says, well, we don't need 50 people to come to the banquet. We need everyone in the district to come. And that's how fast we go down the rabbit hole sometimes, you know? Obviously, we worked it out. We raised 1.2. But a good shepherd is the one that doesn't let the sheep go down the rabbit hole. It keeps them in the flock, keeps them marching toward where they need to be by the end of the day, you know, that kind of thing. You're that guy.
Well, this, like I said, this has been very helpful. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, man.